In the malaise of the modern world, everybody is just so gripped with boredom. The Catholic author Walker Percy defines boredom as the self stuffed with itself. And everybody's so bored. And so what you're doing here at Catholic Family Land in the Apostolate of Family Consecration is you're inviting families into a heroic act. And there's so few things that you can do nowadays that are heroic that's really great. You know what I mean? You should have swords for the boys. Probably give them swords. Because it's a fight, you know.
You haven't had boys. A weapon.
I think on the youth retreat they have flaming torches.
Oh, so that's good. I'm for that too. Live fire.
The guys like that.
We like fire. Yeah. We've also found that the family consecration is helpful in this time with single-parent families because when we do the renewal vows on Wednesday at Catholic Family Land, then we call forward the single-parent families to, when the father is missing, that St. Joseph would fill that void. And then if the mother is missing, the Blessed Mother would fill that void so that the children still have a model of fatherhood and motherhood within their family if the one spouse is missing through death or separation. So it's become, especially in this time where there's so many broken families, a way to help them heal and to give them hope.
How terrific. Yeah. It's really beautiful and important. That's great. And of course, that's the other thing that a consecration helps us with. When difficulty comes, as it always will, I remember who I am, what I said, what I'm committed to. That's very helpful to have that in mind. It's good.
Well, the other thing is that they can come and see, even if in their own family the marriage was broken, that there's still hope because they see a lot of healthy relationships that are still intact, and it doesn't have to continue to the next generation. It is possible to live out the marriage life.
Yeah, no, that's right.
So they're given examples of that.
And I'm not here very long, but my sense, because this is how these things usually go, is that Catholic Family Land during these week-long family fests would be full of all kinds of beautiful families, just like you said, kind of vibrant, full of joy, full of energy, all that, but none of them perfect. And so I think it must be deeply encouraging to families that are struggling to be able to see, oh, I get it. This isn't about a self-perfection project. This isn't about being the perfect mom or the perfect dad. This is about being in the rough and tumble of it. This is, and this is deeply important because the New Testament never talks of life with God as an achievement, but always as a perseverance. It's all about not giving up. That's what it's about.
Well, that's precisely true, and some of the new families sometimes can be intimidated by what they see, but they fall into Satan's trap and believing that there's something wrong because these people are all got it together. Well, they come to find out that no, that's why we're here, because we don't have it together.
Isn't that great? What a wonderful thing for this place to do.
The only family that's on a pedestal here is the Holy Family.
Yeah, that's right.
The rest of us are all in the same boat.
And they had trouble. They didn't have sin, but they had plenty of trouble. You know, talk about the flight to Egypt and living as refugees and eking out a living and all this stuff. Yeah.
Well, we kind of touched on this, but would you share your insights into why the family is so important?
Yeah, well, because the attack is coming upon the family. And so family life, it's interesting. I was asked this question yesterday. I was in Chicago, and I was telling the story about what it was like to teach high school and some of the hot button issues of our time and moral challenges and those kinds of things. And somebody asked me, hey, but some of the things that you noted, for instance, the nature of marriage, these aren't necessarily Catholic theology, or they don't begin with Catholic theology. These are questions of natural law. I was really grateful for that question because it was a reminder, actually, that it's not just that the whole world has abandoned Christianity or has developed an inoculation or a resistance to it, but that natural law also has gone out the window, and that the Catholic Church stands not simply as a defender of her own teaching, but almost as one of the last lines of resistance against the obliteration of natural law. You know, and so I think in other ages, it might have been much easier to live family life. It might have been much easier because though there were difficulties in every age or errors of various kinds, common sense prevailed around men and women, raising children, what that means, all of those things. Now things are so topsy-turvy that the integrity of the family, the integrity of the Catholic family becomes deeply, deeply important for the whole of the society. And so I think that that's another reason why it's so important that we're keeping alive a flame, not just for ourselves, but for the whole of the world, which has just gone crazy around these questions. And so, yeah, I think that's yet another reason for the importance of the family at this time.
Yeah, we found that we're the first generation that has tried to live out this family consecration, and we find that the families that will consistently strive to do that defy the odds of culture and society. The children have a tendency to retain the faith and desire vocation to the priesthood or religious life, or if they're called to married life, they want marriage and they want children, which is also defying the culture. But what advice would you give parents that are worried about their children's faith and are struggling with children that are leaving the faith?
Yeah. Well, can we start just there with the power of family consecration? Let's return to that theme for just a moment. I think one of the things that is important for us to remember, the French poet Charles Péguy has a poem called Sleep. And in this poem, God is praising sleep. He said, it's one of the best things that I ever did for human beings, to let them sleep. Really important. He said, but lots of people don't sleep. They worry a lot. And you know, they build their business or they get their family going or whatever. And then at a certain point, when it's time for them to sleep, which actually is the time when I kind of take over, then they won't do it. Do they think I can't handle it? Do they think that I don't know what I'm doing? What's wrong with these people? I'm insulted that they won't go to sleep. This type of thing. Well, what's sort of humorously being teased out in the poem there is the fact that no matter what we're entrusted with, if you're running the University of Mary or the Catholic family land or whatever your responsibilities are, your activity is actually not strictly required by God.